Hello creation, I hope you're well. I've just written this is just channeled through from higher self or spirit or whatever name you want to give it, God, whatever. Anyway, it's called When the Warrior Becomes the Pacifist. When the warrior becomes the pacifist, when the call of your conscience can no longer be ignored, when the orders you are given go against the beliefs in what you are fighting for, when the cries of the suppressed are drowned out by those cries of your own, when you feel sick to your stomach at the actions of comrades undertaken without any emotion shown, when you no longer view those oppressed as the enemy at the gates, and with every passing moment you feel a distance growing toward those that oppress and dictate. When you finally awaken to the fact that you are their puppet on a string, and to them you are expendable, to them you are just a thing to be utilised at any given hour, a thing that they would gladly sacrifice for them to stay in power. They brainwash and they capitalise many willing souls. They brainwash and they capitalise to realise their greedy, corrupt goals. When the warrior becomes the pacifist and sees beyond the lies and awakens to the truth within, shall then release all ties, to then walk upon a different path, the path of the newly awakened. A crack within the dam of truth that shall see the floodgates opened. When the warrior becomes the pacifist, the warrior still exists, but chooses the path of righteousness to be trodden with unclenched fists. The pacifist is the warrior, and each have fought their battles in different ways. And when the warrior becomes the pacifist, this does not mean that the warrior has been put out to graze. Woe betide those who underestimate the pacifist at the gate, for the pacifist is the warrior. All can change, as all have choice. It is never too late. Be the change that this beautiful planet and all of creation await. Become the change. Become the pacifist. Choose love. Change. That's powerful. It's powerful stuff, that, isn't it? That's powerful, isn't it? It's in half. So, yeah, I mean, we're seeing great upheavals. It really is all part of an outgoing energy and making way for an incoming one, a new one. If we live in absolute hope, faith, belief, trust in whatever it is, the great divine, take that leap of faith. Take that leap of faith. It's all based on vibration. It really is. Take that leap of faith. I say it many times, I know, and I am repetitive, but you know, we reap what we sow, don't we? We get given what we, you know, if we're low vibe, we get low vibe. If we're okay, I know it can be questionable when there's all this sort of stuff going off, but at the end of it, why would we not choose love? Why would we not? I know sometimes for things to change, you know, it has to go through that death and rebirth, doesn't it? Period. Whatever it is. But that's powerful. So it's called When the Warrior Becomes the Pacifist, and it's true in what it says. Just because if it's a soldier, say for instance, well, a warrior of whatever type, or, you know, it doesn't have to be a soldier, does it? But someone who's well, yeah, I suppose a soldier, whose job it's been to fight, yeah, warrior. Just if they decide to become the pacifist, that doesn't mean to say that they're still not the warrior, because to walk the path of the pacifist, they're going to face some battles, you know. To change, what strength and courage that shows when you've been trained basically into a killing machine, when you've become and you've been trained for war, in the art of war, to make that decision, to make that decision based on listening to your intuition within, listening to your feelings, you know, because unfortunately a lot of, you know, I mean, it's sort of, I know it's how it's been, and or it's how it is, but you know, when a soldier's trained, they're trained in the art of war, aren't they? They're trained to kill, you know. Just because if that warrior, if that soldier, that warrior chooses to change, you know, it's within all of us. It's the balancing of the yin and yang. We are masculine and feminine within all of us. We are the creator in each and every single body. Everyone upon this planet. You're all the creator. You're all... How can you not see it like that? You know, well, you know, people will see it when they're meant to see it, if they're meant to see it, I suppose. It's all opinion, isn't it, at the end of the day, but I know, it's just, when you see all this upheaval, you know, and all you want is peace and a life of peace, and, you know, for everybody. I don't know. Can of worms, innit, I suppose. Can of worms. But that's just come through, so I've had to read it. Put my own penny in as well. I've seen it on some of these videos online. I've seen it. There's people doing the jobs. They're in the police uniforms. They're doing the jobs. Some of them you can tell they don't want to be doing that. You can see it. You can see it. And it's the same with some soldiers, you know, when they're out there and you see it. And some of them gladly surrender, gladly throw their arms up in the air. And so, you know, saw it in, it was televised in Iraq, wasn't it? You know, that time when there were loads of them just didn't want to be there, didn't want to be fighting, don't want to fight. You know, why would you want to be a puppet? Why would you just want to be a thing that's utilised so someone else can stay in power? It's wrong. It's just opinion, isn't it? But, you know, when someone's sat there with the nice big best brandy, you know, and the nice big fat cigar, and they're laughing because, you know, they're still sat there and the world's going up in flames that they've orchestrated. Anyway, I know, it's a subject, isn't it? Can of worms, like I say. But I've had to read that. When the warrior becomes the pacifist, and everyone can change, and everyone can choose love. Everyone, no exceptions, everyone. Because it's within us, all of us. Anyway, as usual, just opinion, but can of worms. But I had to write what's come through. That's it. Alright, that's it for today. Take care.